Hello and welcome. I'm Shilpa Rathnam, and today we're going to discuss the future of InsurTech. InsurTech is poised at an inflection point. According to the latest news reports, India is currently the fifth largest InsurTech market in the world, growing at a whopping rate of 32 to 34% each year. The ETBFSI Zopper NXT10 InsurTech Summit will embark on a visionary journey to forecast the key developments shaping the insurance industry in the coming decade. With technology at its core, this summit aims to pave the way for transformative changes redefining the sector. Mayank Gupta, co-founder of Zopper, is here with us for this forecasting interview ahead of the summit. Hello and welcome, Mayank.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you. We appreciate your time. Now, what will the NXT10 InsurTech Summit mean for the insurance sector in India?
Zopper NXT10 InsurTech Summit is a congregation of senior industry experts and thought leaders who have been the first movers in adopting insurance technology in their own companies. We will talk about a lot of real-life examples and use cases of how technology has made a positive impact in the process of insurance buying and selling. We will also discuss the trends that will dominate the InsurTech growth in the country over the next decade.
All right, now in the context of this summit, what does digital really mean for consumers and insurers in India? And how does a digital-first approach bring transformative change for both these stakeholders?
So digital is not really a word in my view that can be defined. I think it's an emotion, it's a state of mind. And the meaning of digital changes with the shift of time. In older days, digital meant anything that can be inputted into a computer and printed. However, today, the definition of digital is very different. With the advent of new technologies like AI, blockchain, cryptocurrency, the meaning of digital has entirely taken a new dimension. If I talk about insurance industry particularly, digital first mindset means having interventions of technology across the entire life cycle of an insurance buying experience, be it selection of a program, be it the right underwriting, be it the right propensity model to recommend a product to a customer, be it the proposal, quotation, payment, or even a claim experience. A digital first mindset will enable technology interventions across the life cycle.
Well, I'm sure we're going to be discussing the digital trends in insurance at the summit. Can you also shed some light on the other top trends that will be discussed at this summit? Give us a small preview.
So in the summit, we are focusing on 5 or 6 key themes. And the way we think about the themes is from the point of view of distribution. So we have selected 5 or 6 sectors like banks, lending, digital, and lifestyle sectors on which we will be discussing. To give you an example, one of the themes will be on bank assurance, which is the most reliable method of selling insurance by banks to their customers. And we will discuss how use of technology is making bank insurance more efficient, more scalable, and more reliable.
Now, Mayank, in your view, what are some salient innovations that are unfolding in the Indian insurance landscape, and to what extent are these being driven by technology?
So innovation and technology are inseparable words, probably just like milk and water. And if you talk about innovation, you have to talk about technology. In the insurance sector, technology is permeating everywhere, be it creating new products, be it pricing the right product, be it the preemptive nature of an insurance buying journey, which an insurer can leverage now. So in fact, recently there was a flood in Hawaii, and a lot of insurers use preemptive models to figure out where the most damage could happen. And they actually assisted the customers in evacuating from the regions so that at the time of claim, the losses are minimized. And that's just one of the examples of innovation that technology is bringing about. And I can go on and on regarding multiple examples. And in the summit, that's the agenda. We will discuss a lot of examples of innovation in InsurTech.
Well, when you discuss these examples, a glaring gap that exists between the insurance abroad and the insurers abroad, India will also be discussed, I'm sure.
Absolutely. In India, while we have a very large population, but the fact remains that insurance penetration is very low. We are at 4.2% insurance penetration combined for life and non-life, which is much lower than where the global averages are. And from here on, we have a large path to cover as far as insurance penetration and coverage is concerned. And that will be a key theme that will be discussed in the event in the various dialogues that we will do.
All right. Mayank, how is a digital journey critical to establishing transparency, and what light is the NXT10 Summit going to shed on it?
So insurance is a very complicated product. A lot of information is exchanged during the process of insurance buying and selling. Technology enables a lot of transparency at both ends, both at the insurer as well as the customer. Whether it is agent-driven insurance sale or a direct sale, technology helps the insurer in getting to know the customer better. For example, if you are uploading your proof of identity and proof of address, there are APIs today that can help you in verifying whether your PAN, Aadhaar and any other documentary evidence is correct or not. That gives transparency to the insurer about who is the customer. At the same time, for a customer, it is very important to know what kind of contract or insurance they're getting into, what are the benefits, what are the terms and conditions, and what are the exclusions. By having a digital process, an insurer gets all the opportunity to have transparent display of information so that there is no dispute at the time of claim.
Now, are there any specific examples of how digital insurers are able to provide personalized telematic solutions or develop peer-to-peer insurance or contextual insurance?
So since you mentioned telematic, yes, of course, there are insurance companies today who are offering pay-as-you-use insurance for motor vehicles. So there the premium is determined by how many kilometers you are driving, are you a good driver, safe driver or not so good driver. On the peer-to-peer insurance, a lot of innovation is happening. To give you a case in point, today it is possible for a college alumni association to pool in the risk of all their alumni students and buy an insurance product for themselves and their families. And that can take care of any black swan events like COVID and protect the alum from any unforeseen expense.
Wow, and this is on the rise, is it? These sort of innovations, and like you mentioned, these college alumni, are there already instances of this happening?
Yes, absolutely. At Zopper, we have already partnered with a lot of premier institutions to create super top-up health insurance plans that protect anybody from any eventuality in case of a significant health insurance claim.
You also mentioned auto insurance, and I find that interesting because elsewhere abroad, if you have a red car, you have to pay a higher premium because it's been shown that red car, and especially the drivers in red cars, tend to get into more accidents. But there's no such differentiation in India yet, is it?
I think it's just a matter of time. Regulator is now becoming very flexible and very technology friendly, and it's just a matter of time that they will allow pricing based on car color, make, model, etc. and driving habits.
And what is the color of your car, Mayank?
Oh, I wonder if you would not have asked that question. It's actually red.
All right, very telling. And maybe not for long, right?
Yeah, probably I'll go for a white one next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Now, before the digital era, customers mostly relied on word-of-mouth campaigns to understand insurance. Today, social media plays a pivotal role in shaping their understanding and choices. How important is it for new entrants to harness social media to drive more awareness on insurance? And what would be your key concerns about this, if any?
So we spoke that the insurance penetration in India is very low at 4.2%. At the same time, in a sharp contrast, the social media penetration is very high. More than 2/3 of our adult population is today interacting with social media. And that offers a very large opportunity for insurers and ecosystem players to be available on social media, start an interaction with their customers on social media, and then probably if the need arises, take it to the next level where they use a phygital model or a hybrid model and do any manual nudges that are required. At the same time, there is a concern that misinformation can spread as easily on social media as good information, and therefore customers need to be aware of what kind of sources are they relying upon for making an informed decision. And I think that is one area where the entire ecosystem has to come together and work together. At Zopper, we have taken a first step by creating a portal where we are educating the masses on what kind of insurance to buy, what are the do's and don'ts, and henceforth.
Now, compared to countries such as the US and the UK, how do you gauge the clear shift in India towards creating awareness on social media, and especially with regards to sharing insurance updates there?
So India's demographic dividend is very different from that of the West. Around half of our population is young, below 30 years of age, and the way they interact with internet and businesses is very different. An average customer is interacting with businesses 5 times or more in a day, and which is really a shift from how people used to interact with businesses back in the day. So today, it is also easy for a customer to tag the MD or a CEO of a company if their claim has not been fulfilled or if their refund has not come. And therefore, it calls for a social first strategy by the insurance companies and distributors to be present there, to listen to the voice of customer on the social media, and have a 360-degree strategy to close the loop.
Absolutely, right? Now on social media has almost become a customer care helpline. So you have to be on your guard and you have to be swift.
Absolutely, and I think chatbots which are driven by AI are very useful in doing the first responding on any customer complaint that comes, which can then be taken care of by a human customer care agent.
Certainly. Now, in the context of how peer-to-peer models and embedded insurance is gaining traction in India, will the Next10 Summit unveil some interesting trends in this particular segment as well?
Absolutely. One of the sections we will talk about in the summit is on microfinance. And this is a topic which is very close to my heart because that is where a real impact is being created. In microfinance, how it happens is a group of women come together and they take a loan. They form a self-help group or a joint liability group and they take a loan. And that loan is to cater to their immediate financial needs. Now with technology, it is possible to embed an insurance with the loan, which can offer a long-term financial security to the family, because in case of any untimely death scenario, the family can be prevented from entering into the vicious cycle of a debt trap.
Now, ahead of the Zopper Next10 Summit, with the insurance regulator IRDAI coming up with various new initiatives to open up the industry and drive industry growth, what is your outlook on key trends that can shape the insurance segment in the coming decade?
I think there couldn't have been a better time from a regulatory perspective than today to be in the insurance industry. The current regulator has been very, very supportive on innovation and use of technology. In fact, they have rolled out a vision of insurance for all by 2047, which is a very bold vision. And to achieve that vision, all ecosystem partners will have to adopt technology. There have been initiatives like Bima Vahak, Bima Sugam, Bima Vistar. There have been initiatives like Use and File, which allow insurers to use a product first and then only file with the regulator in case the product is meritorious. So these are the liberal opportunities that the regulator is giving. And I'm sure that these policies will pave the right way for the insurance industry to grow.
And it must be very exciting, especially for disruptors like you, right, who are poised to take advantage of the technological advancements and leeway that the regulators offer.
Yes, very exciting times. In fact, we are seeing demand from both sides, from the demand as well as supply side. So both the insurers as well as the distribution ecosystem partners want to adopt technology, and therefore our teams are very busy these days.
I can tell, okay. Now, 3 decades ago, Mayank, a customer had very limited options when buying insurance. He had limited understanding and very limited choices of what seemed to be a very simple transaction. Given the backdrop of the Next10 Summit, what has drastically changed since then and made insurance into a more personalized and relevant item?
You know, you bring me to a memory where I can recall one of my uncles coming to our house, sitting in the drawing room and talking to my parents about an unforeseen situation that may happen. And it was that fear that prompted my parents to buy insurance. Fortunately or unfortunately, that is not the case now. Today's customer is much more demanding, much more informed, and they want to acquire all the information that they can before making a decision. And therefore, the buying process of a customer has changed significantly, and that calls for the way in which insurance companies now offer insurance. Earlier, the only way you could buy insurance is either by going to an insurance company's office or via an agent, the so-called uncle that I refer to. Today, insurance is available in a lot of contexts. You can buy insurance when you are taking a loan. You can buy insurance when you are transacting with your bank. You can buy insurance while you are booking a flight. So contextual insurance is getting embedded, and that is the future that is lying ahead of us.
Mayank, how do you envision the Next10 Summit to be beneficial to industry participants?
See, throughout the year, across multiple forums, there are a lot of concepts and ideas that are discussed, right from API-based insurance to sachet insurance, embedded insurance, SaaS platform, etc., etc. We believe that the Zopper Next10 InsurTech Summit will serve as a proof of concept of many of these ideas, and it will serve as a validation of what is working in what channel and what is not working. We have invited industry leaders who have been at the forefront of adopting some of these technologies, and they will discuss real-time examples and case studies of how these technologies have contributed to the InsurTech growth in a positive manner. And that's the impact that we want to create on the industry from this event.
Now, Next10 Summit, of course, we're going to find out the future for InsurTech in the coming decade. But what's coming up for Zopper? You have a mammoth presence in India. Do you have any global expansion plans?
India presents a huge opportunity, as we have discussed. We have our hands full, we have a huge pipeline to deliver on and a lot of innovation happening, and therefore all our focus currently is on India. At the same time, we are getting a lot of global interest, especially from countries in Southeast Asia, Africa and Middle East. So we are keeping our eyes and ears open for any versatile opportunity.
All right, and best of luck with that, Mayank. We look forward to your global expansion and world domination. And for now, best of luck for the Next 10 Summit. And if you want to continue hearing more conversations on InsurTech, follow the Next 10 Summit. Thank you so much for talking
Thanks
to us.
a lot for having me here.
Thank you.